Spiritual Teaching 190. Love each other. 1. Humanity. Elijah is with everyone during this era. 2. Multitudes, you rejoice with this communication. Listen to the voice of Elijah. Although the importance of his mission was recognized at Mount Tabor, humanity has not acknowledged him. You have not analyzed the manifestation at Mount Tabor. Now that you have listened to the voice of Elijah, you feel his presence and even seem to hear his chariot of fire approaching. 3. Elijah is a ray of light whom I have always sent to illuminate your path. He has illuminated the world, helping men to discover and to follow the quickest path to the Father. He is the carrier of the great mysteries of the Spirit, which today I have come to clarify so that you will know your Father better. Today, Elijah has come to fulfill a mission similar to the one that he had in the first era, which was to remove man's idols from their altars and to teach man how to worship God spiritually. 4. The law of reincarnation, greatly disputed by mankind, is explained and verified with Elijah. In him, one can discover a teaching and an explanation of the communication through a human spokesman. When Elijah manifested himself spiritually through the prophet Elisha. 5. Behold the many great lessons that Elijah has always brought to your spirit. Observe how during all periods he has come to reveal and to explain things that were difficult for you to understand. All the teachings that you were previously unable to understand will be explained by Elijah in this third era. His mission is to restore the truth to all things that were falsified and misinterpreted. 6. Blessed are those who have become spiritually sensitive and proclaim. Elijah has arrived. The arrival of the Lord is approaching. Similarly, in the second era, after having heard John prophesy and talk about the wonders of heaven, men asked if John the Baptist was Elijah. 7. The great prophet, the foreigner, the messenger is now among you spiritually. He is manifesting himself with the same ray of light that he used in the past to destroy the false gods and to help the people of God develop faith. 8. Spirits, follow him. Humanity, listen to him. He is the shepherd who comes to guide you to my sheepfold. He is illuminating and signaling the path that you will need to follow to reach the port of salvation. 9. Be aware that time is passing and the day will come when I will no longer speak to you through human spokesmen. Those who have taken advantage of my teachings will experience peace, but others who have not will remain like orphans, seeking my presence through spokesmen unsuccessfully. I am not leaving. I will be with those who prepare themselves, communicating from spirit to spirit. 10. The moment will come in which different sects and religions will announce that the time for the Lord to come is now, proclaiming that all the signs have been fulfilled. You, who know the truth, will tell them about my manifestation. O humanity, since 1866 I have come as the Comforter, seeking those who belong to me and who will spread the good news. 11. You will not distance yourself from those who, although awaiting my arrival, did not recognize the signs that signaled my new coming. They did not understand how to interpret their intuition of the divine truth. Do not reject your brethren because of your differences, even though they failed to witness my manifestation. I have illuminated their spirits, and they are following the right path. You will all unite to pursue the same ideal. 12. My chosen ones are found in the different branches of the same tree. Many will come prior to 1950 to witness my communication, whereas others will arrive later. Blessed are those who listen to my word through the human spokesman, for they will realize that previously they have heard this voice. It is not a human voice, but a voice that originates from God. 13. I have come to tell you to let your conscience guide you and to free yourself. Do not become a slave to those who want to submit you to imperfect forms of worship, to misconceptions, and to false doctrines. 14. Everyone can become my worker and a messenger of my doctrine. You will not feel alone in your battle. Under my protection you will feel secure and will not fear anything. 15. I, who am present throughout the universe and who rule all creation, am manifesting myself through man, my privileged child. Do not be surprised that I chose to communicate through humble and illiterate individuals, or that I manifest myself in places filled with humility and poverty. I assure you that what you view as a palace is not a palace to me. There can be true spiritual splendor in places where poverty and humbleness exist. 16. I say that to you because many have asked why I do not manifest myself inside great synagogues or magnificent churches. In the second era, there were many who also asked why the Messiah was not born or raised in the Temple of Zion. 17. Today, as in the past, I have come to teach you that only the purity within your heart reaches the Father, because each heartbeat speaks to me of your good deeds. 18. I have always come in true humility. I have always arrived without a throne, a scepter, or a palace. Instead, I have come surrounded by simplicity and meekness. What would the poor, the underprivileged, and the outcasts think of me if they were to see me arrive surrounded by splendor and luxury? They would feel humiliated and unworthy of me, whereas the aristocrats and the rich would refer to me as their God. 19. Those who are poor are greatly touched and moved when they perceive the humility of Jesus. They identified with me because I was barefooted, fatigued, and bleeding when I carried the cross. But those who are only materially wealthy cannot think of me as being poor, even though they should have the same sentiments as those who are humble. Thus, the rich try to represent me through images that are covered with linens, silk, gold, and precious stones. They do this because they have forgotten that my doctrine of love opposes vanity. 20. Once again, I must say to you that I have not come to criticize any particular religion, for they are all blessed by me. However, you should understand that I, your teacher, need to identify the errors that man has been committing so that he may correct them. I have come to help you find the truth, because you have not been able to do it on your own. 21. Allow my truth, which is enlightenment and love, to reach all individuals, religions, and cities, for what you consider as truths reaches me. The divine truth that I want from everyone is your prayer, your faith, and your hope. 22. When a spirit elevates itself to communicate with me, it sheds all of its darkness and deceit. It only reveals the truth to me. Even the wicked individual, when confessing to me, reveals his stains without trying to deceive me. 23. It is man's responsibility to perfect himself and to better his life on earth, without judging the manner by which others seek me. I am the only one who is capable of judging the truth of your deeds. 24. My love and my enlightenment are with everyone, including the idolater and the spiritualist. I assure you that frequently I have received great proof of spiritual elevation from those who you consider spiritually backward. Also, many times I have received proof of great spiritual backwardness from those who believe that they are highly spiritualized. 25. A multitude of people have received me in this era, and I have entrusted it with this page from my book of wisdom. However, there is a message for every religion in this page of wisdom. 26. My light will be similar to a universal divine sunrise that will awaken everyone. When man awakens on this new day, he will begin to feel the presence of God. 27. I now tell you that the kingdom of heaven will not be descending toward humanity. Instead, it will be the spirit of man that will elevate itself toward the kingdom of the divine Father. 28. Why must I always come to help you amend your faults? I come because I love you. I want to comfort you, and I want you to feel my spiritual peace because there is sorrow in your heart. 29. Sometimes I manifest myself as judge, sometimes as father, but always as the divine master. However, the same divine essence is found in God's law, God's love, and God's wisdom. Behold the Trinity that exists in my spirit. 30. Close your eyes and free your spirit, enabling it to truly communicate with the Lord during these moments. Allow it to feel close to the Lord, similar to those who in the second era followed the divine master through the valleys, roads, villages, riversides, and deserts to listen to his teachings. You will then be able to comprehend those things that I have explained figuratively. I use material things from earth to represent spiritual things so that you will comprehend my teachings. Observe how my word brings the kingdom of heaven closer to your spirit. 31. Come, humanity, so that I may teach you with love. Do you want suffering to be your teacher throughout your lifetime? 32. Come to my fields to sow brotherhood. I assure you that this work will not disappoint you as do other things on earth. 33. The path is before your eyes. I invite you to follow it and not to delay, because each step that you take will bring your spirit closer to the divine mansion. 34. I will continue to give you my teachings in this manner for a few more years. I want you to achieve merits so that in those remaining years, you can receive an abundance of spiritual enlightenment through my teachings. 35. What must you do to achieve merits? You need to develop faith, devotion, and spirituality. This multitude needs to practice deeds of love and charity, and find joy in the divine truth. 36. Truly I tell you that if you do not unite and practice what you preach, as is my will, humanity will reject you. 37. What will happen if men discover that in every house of prayer there is a different type of worship and a different way of practicing my doctrine? They will not believe that it was I who taught you. 38. During these last 3 years of my communication, I want this multitude to work hard to become united. The unification needs to be both spiritually and physically. The unification, harmony, and equality of people from different houses of prayer and communities is the greatest evidence that all of you were taught by the same divine teacher, God. 39. Not everyone has seen spiritually what will happen to humanity in the future, nor has everyone felt the pain of mankind. However, I am forming a large multitude of dedicated workers who are learning to love me. They will work hard to sow my divine seed in the human heart. 40. I say to those who will sow my word, when the time comes to work in the fields, have complete faith in the one who has taught you. Do not fear being mocked or ridiculed. Sow your seed in fertile soil and not among rocks or sand, for it will grow and sprout but not produce fruit. If you sow my word among thorns and bad weeds, it will also fail to produce fruit. That is why you should pray to receive my inspiration so you will know where to sow my word. I, the owner of all fields, will give you large fields to cultivate. Prepare yourself to work hard. Sow my seed so that you will gather the harvest. The day will come when you will prepare bread to nourish yourself using the wheat from your harvest. Behold that I speak to you figuratively, for you may gather your harvest in the spiritual valley. 41. Today I say to you, you have important things to fulfill using the physical body that I have temporarily given you. The body is your aid. You must guide it wisely. 42. Plagues and catastrophes are now appearing on earth, as prophesied. Man is experiencing fear and he is praying for someone to help him and to give him words of inspiration. You are his salvation. 43. You will need to journey across oceans and mountains to visit other lands, helping those who suffer. Do not fear the journey. Travel in simplicity. 44. When I have shown you your mission, I have said, take your cross and follow me. Why are you afraid of losing the conveniences that you have on earth? You tell me that you love the world and you are unable to make the sacrifices and to achieve the spiritual purity required for this mission. But I say to you, at any age, regardless of your state or condition, you can love me and serve me without neglecting other responsibilities. 45. Carry out loving deeds and set examples that will change the world. Help mankind to eliminate their false beliefs. Make the earth a paradise and not a valley of tears. 46. I will give you a brief time to fulfill your mission on earth. 47. Remember that you need to leave a spiritual heritage for your children, because I will manifest myself through their descendants. Among those generations there will appear prophets of great faith who will explain my teachings and guide humanity. 48. Do you want to fulfill my word? I bless you because you have listened to my word and want to follow me. Your heart overflows with grace. Offer that grace to those who request it. 49. In this era you have come to receive my teaching. Some come as disciples, others as beginning students, and yet others come due to curiosity. However, everyone seeks peace, tranquility, and the fulfillment of the prophecies that correspond to this era. 50. You did not find out about my new arrival through a religion or a sect. Instead, it was a messenger who gave you the good news. I have come to judge all spirits and to set the foundations for a new life, thus preparing humanity to become spiritualized. If you prepare yourself while on earth, you will be able to perceive the perfection of the spiritual mansion where the virtuous spirits dwell. Those spirits elevated themselves through their own merits and presently work together with me for your salvation. Amidst these humble people who are witnessing my new manifestation, you will be able to comprehend all those things that previously you were unable to comprehend. Because I have come to enlighten you by removing the veil that covers your eyes. I am referring to your spiritual eyes because you were unable to perceive spiritual and divine things. I am now guiding you and spiritually illuminating your spirit. Remain vigilant. If you triumph over your flesh, allowing your spirit to follow my path with humility, you will become enlightened with love. Your brethren will then observe that you are one of my chosen, and humanity will love and respect you. 51. You are soldiers of righteousness. I have given you weapons to battle against sin, not against your brethren. I do not want man to be born, to grow, and to die in sin, ignoring his divine mission. If you penetrate into my doctrine, you will become strong and invincible, not yielding to temptation. Your preparation will help you to elevate spiritually, enabling you to become more spiritual. You will then become incarnated angels helping humanity. 52. Although many are summoned, few are chosen. Among the chosen, fewer are privileged. But woe to the privileged if they become vain. Do not imitate Solomon, who was given a nation to govern, and endowed with wisdom, grace, and power. After acquiring great spirituality and spiritual elevation, he ceased to remain spiritually alert and thus became dominated by the flesh. All of his previous deeds, inspired by love and justice, became tarnished through his selfish and materialistic behavior. Do not fall into this kind of vanity because you are one of my chosen. If I select you to govern a city or a nation, you should dictate righteous laws inspired by me without becoming vain. You should elevate your spirit and remain humble before God. 53. Many will come to this land that I have chosen and will perceive my light of truth reflected in those who dwell here. They will rejoice in meeting you and visiting the place where I gave the teaching of the third era. Those who arrive after 1950 will seek the written teachings. When they become acquainted with my revelations, they will feel the strength in my teachings. They will bless you and will love me. Many of them belong to the 144,000 chosen people of Israel who will unite with you to obey my mandates. 54. Today, The nations of earth are surrounded by materialism and confusion. I have spoken to them spiritually, and I have sowed my seed in the hearts of my chosen ones so that my word will spread throughout the world. Do whatever you can to help your brethren in their spiritual journey. 55. Very few of my disciples are presently with me. However, my word will spread throughout the world. My divine word will reach the hearts of all those who cry out for love. 56. This is the appropriate time for you to become familiar with the mission that you need to fulfill. I have prepared you to fulfill your mission on earth. Also, I want you to become familiar with what awaits you in the spiritual valley. I have helped you to evolve spiritually, enabling you to understand those events that are occurring on earth which others are unable to comprehend. 57. While the spirit is united with the material body, it is unaware of the merits it has achieved in past lives. However, it does know that it possesses eternal life and that it will continually evolve in pursuit of spiritual perfection. You are presently unaware of what level you have reached. 58. I have observed you from the time that you took your first steps, weak and confused. I have seen you gradually awaken and evolve, achieving a greater understanding of the truth. I have seen you struggle against adversity, ordeals, and temptation. After you have achieved spiritual elevation and have discovered the value of spiritual life, I have seen your spirit rejoice. It is overjoyed because of the peace, satisfaction, and hope it feels. But also I have seen the spirit stumble and stain itself on earth. It has cried and has had to purify itself to attain my grace. But even when it has stumbled, it has gained enlightenment through those experiences. 59. You should no longer be deceived, because with these teachings I have removed the veil which had concealed the truth. Now you are able to perceive the clear horizon of divine truth and continue faithfully on that journey. 60. A bright light is illuminating your path. Thus, you should no longer lose your path. Only if you choose to reject the truth and be deceived by the false pleasures of earth. 61. I cannot tell you that on your journey you only need to trust yourself or that you will be free from temptation. There are forces that are trying to destroy your spiritual progress. Those forces conceal their darkness and create strong temptations. I forewarn you so that you will be able to defend yourself with your faith. 62. Man's destiny is to know the truth and to elevate himself to the one who created the universe. But the path is long. This long journey allows you to develop all of your spiritual gifts and to learn to know me, feel me, and love me. The path has thorns and obstacles, and thus your strength and faith will be tested. However, at the end of the journey your spirit will have been purified. 63. The other path it can follow is one with winding turns. That path will delay your progress because it offers desirable temptations. If you yield to the temptations on this path, you will not be concerned then with the delay it causes. But later, you will experience great sorrow and resentment for prolonging your spiritual progress. 64. I could list the different paths that mankind chooses to follow. There are so many that man finds it difficult to choose the best one. 65. When a spirit comes to dwell on earth, it is granted an opportunity, through its material body, to evolve and to perfect itself. The marvelous and perfect formation of the human body enables the spirit to think, to behave, and to feel through that body, according to its spiritual evolution. 66. The spirit participates in the pleasures experienced by the material body and also becomes purifying when the body suffers physically. Furthermore, the material body is sensitive to the joys and sorrows of the spirit. Thus, while they are united, they form only one being. 67. There is perfection in the human body. That is why Christ, the divine Word, came to incarnate in a human body, similar to yours. However, he did not suffer because of his imperfections. He suffered because mankind had fallen into the abyss. Jesus helped mankind elevate spiritually through his suffering, sacrifice, and his word. 68. Although the Spirit is strong, it is sometimes unable to overcome the stubbornness of the flesh. Then the Father, creator of the Spirit and the flesh, will come to save you. Remember, I am the good shepherd who saves the lost sheep. For none of my children will become lost. My peace be with you.